Welcome to my class, student. It's class 8 English Honeydew. We are in chapter 5 and this is session 3. The chapter is the summit within. In this, the summit within, we are seeing Mr. Ahluwalia, who is a mountaineer who has climbed the Mount Everest. At that peak, what he was thinking of? He was thinking of the summit within, the summit of mind, the summit of your inner self. And in the earlier session we have seen the physical challenges that they face, how it's very much needed that all the mountaineers, all the companions help each other, because without motivation, without inspiration, it's very hard to climb Mount Everest, because it is the mightiest, the highest peak, and it takes every ounce of your energy, and it's not so easy to climb the Mount Everest. Many times you will feel like going down, but the path of going down is as difficult as the path going up. So it's better to move forward. Now in this session 3, let's see what Mr. Ahluwalia is explaining. Looking round from the summit, you tell yourself that it was worthwhile. All the time during the journey, he was thinking, why am I torturing myself? Why I have put myself into this? Now, when he reached the summit, he is saying, it is worthwhile. Other silvery peaks appear through the clouds. If you are lucky, the sun may be on them. The surrounding peaks look like a jewel necklace around the neck of your summit. Below, you see vast valleys sloping into the distance. Such a beautiful sight. We, the common people, cannot explain, cannot see. We can see only the pictures, but he has experienced life. He has gone there, reached there. So he is saying, climbing Mount Everest, yes, it's worth. You should try once to climb the Mount Everest to see this beauty of nature. Here, it is an ennobling, enriching experience to just look down from the summit of a mountain. You bow down and make your obeisances to whichever God you worship, because you thank God that you have completed. You thank God that you are lucky enough to reach the summit, because that mountain has defied many others' attempts. So you are lucky that you have reached there. So what he did, he bowed down, he made his obeisances to whichever God he worshipped. I left on Everest a picture of Guru Nanak. Rawat left a picture of Goddess Durga, and Poo Dorji left a relic of the Buddha. They are the companions. Mr. Ahluwalia, Rawat and Dorji, they were together. So they all left their pictures of their gods whom they worship, just to show thankfulness to them, just to show how lucky they are that they have reached there safely. Make your obeisance, show your obedience or submission. Edmund Hillary had buried a cross under a cairn, a heap of rocks and stones. What is cairn? A heap of rocks and stones in the snow. These are not symbols of conquest, but of reverence. Yes, we worship. We are thankful to God that safely they did that. The experience of having climbed to summit changes you completely. There is another summit. Now this is the summit within. It is within yourself. It is in your own mind. Each man carries within himself his own mountain peak. Always remember, whatever age you have, whatever class you have, whatever you are carrying a summit in your mind, and it's on you. It's up to you to how to climb that, how to reach to that height of thoughts from where everything looks very clear to you. He must climb it to reach to a fuller knowledge of himself. To know thyself, to know yourself is very important. We are very much busy with knowing others, but we don't know about ourselves. So this summit within, this summit of our mind, if you climb it, it will give you the sense of fulfillment, a sense of knowledge that you know yourself. It is fearful. Yes, knowing self, this journey is again very fearful. If I am not what I think of, then it's really fearful and unscalable. You cannot scale it, how perfect you are. It is unscalable. It cannot be climbed by anyone else. Always remember, when you are climbing the Mount Everest, they are companions. But this summit will have to climb by yourself. No one can understand you. No one can help you. You yourself have to do it. So it is very fearful and it is unscalable. The physical act of climbing to the summit of a mountain outside is akin to the act of climbing the mountain within. It is as difficult, as challenging, as full of obstacles as you are climbing the summit of mountains. So, the effects of both the climbs are the same. What is the after effects? You are totally a changed person. So, if you climb the summit of Mount Everest, you are a changed person. And if you can climb the summit of your mind, you are again a very changed person. Outside is akin to the act of climbing the mountain within. The effects of both the climbs are the same. I venture to think that my experience as an Everester has provided me with the inspiration to face life's ordeals resolutely. What I venture to think that, okay, if I can achieve that impossible task, if I can reach the summit of the Mount Everest, so I should again try to reach the summit of within myself, my inner self. So this inspiration is given, that particular task has inspired him to face life's ordeals resolutely. Climbing the mountain was a worthwhile experience. Then again he is saying, yes, climbing the mountain was a worthwhile experience. Earlier he said it was worthwhile because he could see the vastness of the universe and he could realize how small he was. And here he is saying that this particular experience has given him the inspiration to reach the summit of mind. Now, ordeals, painful experience. Lives also give us very painful experience. Life's challenges are very hard. It's very tough. Life's obstacles, these are really, life's struggles are always very brutal struggles. And resolutely, with determination of firmness. Just as he climbed Mount Everest, he conquered. In the same way, we'll have to conquer our life also. The conquest of the internal summit is equally worthwhile. So, if you can conquer that internal summit, that is also very worthwhile. The internal summits are perhaps higher than average. See, if you can conquer over your internal fears, if you can know yourself perfectly, then that feeling, that joy, that happiness is much greater than the happiness Mr. Ahluwalia got while climbing the Mount Everest. This is Mr. H.P.S. Ahluwalia is saying. These are the concluding line. The conquest of the internal summit is equally worthwhile. The internal summits are perhaps higher than average. So, if you don't get that opportunity to climb the Everest, at least we'll try to climb the summit within. See here, Mr. Ahluwalia, the another, and few Dorji on the summit of Mount Everest. Both the author, Mr. Ahluwalia, and few Dorji, they are there at Mount Everest. So, what have you learnt in this chapter? We have learned that all of us cannot get the chance to reach Mount Everest. It's very difficult. It takes many years to learn the art of climbing mountains, but the summit within that we can try to climb. And if we once know what we are, because this is the journey where we will have to go alone. No one can be our companion, no one can help us, no one can inspire us, no one can motivate us. And many a time if you feel like going down, if you feel like living this expedition halfway, you can, but with your willpower you should not go down, you should not revert. You will have to understand yourself fully, and if you once conquer this summit, once you understand yourself, finally this happiness, this joy will be much greater than the achievement, than the joy that Mr. Ahluwalia has got when he was at the peak of the Mount Everest. So this is the lesson, this is the final wordings of Mr. Ahluwalia by sharing his experiences. Yes, many challenges will come, many physical labor. There is no physical labor in knowing yourself, in climbing the summit within, but that emotional and spiritual attempts will be there. You will know yourself in a better way. So in this session the chapter comes to an end. In the next session we will do the question answer. Till then, go through the chapter, say the stories to others, share the knowledge you have got here of what are the experiences, what are the challenges that we face if you go to Mount Everest. Share this knowledge with others. In the next class we will meet again. Thank you.